On the news tonight, Governor Saludo's security aide, Emma Kai, clarifies operational modus of Anambra security outfit. Commissioner for Power and Water Resources, Chukwuemeka, optimistic of Governor Saludo's victory in November 8th polls. President Tinubu returns to Nigeria after a visit to France, UK. Pope Francis' funeral set for Saturday this week as global tributes pour in. Security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, remember, security is everyone's business. And for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report unscrupulous elements to the security operators for better security of lives and property. Remember the emergency numbers 5111 and 080-022-00008. Welcome to the evening news. My name is Chidem Orangwa. And now the news in detail. As Easter celebrations unfold across the region, a recent media report has drawn criticism regarding comment attributed to the leadership of Operation Udogachi and Agunechemba, an initiative aimed at enhancing security in Anambra State. Speaking to the press in Okar to clarify the situation, the special advisor to Governor Saludo on community security, Mr. Ken Emakai, emphasized that they had been misquoted and that their message had been taken out of context. Correspondent AGK Abana has the report.
According to the special advisor, they did not label their members as armed robbers or criminals. They are only addressing concerns raised about reports of extortion allegedly committed by some individuals in the outfit. Mr. Emma Kahi emphasized that the operatives do not conduct checkpoints but operate pin-down locations designed to create a safer environment for Anambra, an initiative that aims to enable residents to go about their daily activities without fear of crime, screen individuals on the roads, and deter criminal activities such as robbery and kidnapping. However, the leadership acknowledged receiving reports of extortion by individuals allegedly associated with the operation, firmly categorizing it as extortion and unauthorized. He reiterated that the purpose of Operation Udogachi and Agunechemba is to provide security in collaboration with law enforcement agencies, not to engage in profit-making activities, warning that any member of the outfit who is engaged in extortion or activities that deviate from their primary responsibilities will face strict consequences because it is akin to armed robbery.
Those in the communities, they are recruited by members of the community. They have their committees. They are in line with the Homeland Security law. And you have the Agunechemba Udogachi at the local government level, which is directly under the command and control of the mayor of the local government. Then you have the state command. Lying with the law, all of them are answerable one way or the other to the state.
Speaking on concerns about recruitment practices for members of the outfit, the leadership reassured the public about the credibility of the recruitment process, insisting that they do thorough evaluation to ensure that those joining the ranks are trustworthy and committed to their responsibilities.
A joint security team comprising police operatives attached to Uli Police Station and Uli Vigilantes on patrol of Operation Udogachi Zero Kidnapping engaged armed hoodlums on motorbikes in a gun duel and arrested 2 suspects. It was reported that the security team recovered 1 pump-action gun and 2 motorbikes along Uli Amoka Onitsha Owerri Road. Anambra Police Command spokesperson SP Tochukwu Ikenga in a press statement disclosed that the suspects Chigozie Johnson and Umerima Uguta, all males between the age bracket of 30 to 32 years, confessed to being among members of the criminal gang and were evil mission before they were arrested. Meanwhile, during the police operatives' search in a nearby bush, a lot of blood stains were observed and some of the gang members had bullet wounds. Following the development, the command urges all proprietors of private and public hospitals to admit but report any individual presented with bullet wounds or injuries of a suspicious nature to the nearest police station. The command maintained its commitment to maintaining security dominance through sustained patrols and targeted security operations in the state. Power and Water Resources Commissioner Chief Engineer Julius Chukwuemeka has maintained that the victory of Governor Chukwuma Charles Soludo CFR in the forthcoming Anambra Gube race remains non-negotiable. Chukwuemeka made this known yesterday while addressing the gatherings during the commissioning of Willie Obiano Boulevard by the governor. He noted that Mr. Governor has been so good for the people of Anambra North Zone, while recalling the promise he made to the people of the Uka community less than 24 hours after his swearing in, which he has fulfilled even more. Mr. Commissioner urged the people of the state to maintain their support for the governor, especially on November 8th, which he noted will be a perfect way to appreciate Soludo for all he's doing in the entire state. Still on the news tonight, the spiritual director of God in Action Ministry and Vicar St. Paul's Parish, Nwagwagolo, in an Ocha local government area, Reverend Canon Lumen Christi Abel, has prophesied a landslide victory for Governor Chukwuma Soludo in the forthcoming November 8 governorship election in Anambra State, declaring that all the contenders are merely in the race to fulfill all righteousness, as the outcome of the election has already been spiritually decided in Soludo's favor. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo reports that this was one of the major prophecies released by Reverend Canon Abel during God in Action Ministries Friday Adoration Night with the theme, I Must Take Back My Seat. His report.
The adoration service also marked the spiritual director's 45th birthday, which he celebrated with members and non-members of the ministry who came from across the state and beyond. Reverend Canon Abel advised Christians to always hold God firm and not to give up in the face of tribulation, as according to him, God will always come to their aid if they can remain faithful.
Christ in the and when you may deliver say, but on 3 secret societies, but we destroyed Keta, he is doing perfectly well. So, no to Christy, Onobana, Obiun Amapunun, Otak or Denjo or the man.
Members of God in Action Ministry took turns to testify how God used the ministry to deliver them from various degrees of life problems, including Mrs. Ife Nwa Emmanuel, Mr. Chigozie, Mr. Stanley Nwokocha, and Mrs. Ngozi Obiano, who God delivered from deadly disease, madness, occultic society, fire outbreak, among others.
God in Action
From Nwagwagolo in an Ocha council area, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo reporting for ABS News.
The sacrament of matrimony, ordained by God for procreation, love, and companionship, has continued to bring people together in unity to form one body. The latest in a role is the special assistant to the senator representing Anambra Central at the Red Chambers, Engineer Charles Obi, who walked down the aisle with his heartthrob, Miss Ijoma Ezengwama, at St. Matthew's Catholic Church, Amobia. Correspondent Chinelo Ongzulike reports that the Holy Mass, which was presided over by the Bishop Catholic Diocese of Nnewi, Most Reverend Jonas Benson Okoye, attracted other priests, Senator Victor Ume, Abga National Chairman Barrister Sly Ezokenwa, and many others who converged to bear witness to the holy matrimony. Her report is taken from our studio.
In a homily during the Mass, Reverend Father Anthony Chebuka said that coming together as one is a beautiful decision that requires bond, covenant, patience, and truthfulness to one another, advising the couple not to deviate from serving God, who is love, and as well respect and cherish each other to enable them to build a godly home. Senator representing Anambra Central Senatorial District, Sir Victor Ume, noted that his aide has done noble as a man should leave his parents and cling to his wife, saying that marriage is a life journey that needs so many things to make it work.
mutual respect and understanding, and with deep faith in Christ Jesus, and ever united in prayers to our Mother Mary to intercede for them.
His or her own flaws, and then those flaws, you equally, you have your own flaws. So the most important thing is for both of you to be able to work together to build up godly children, is that you must tolerate each other's flaws.
She is really a light that's come into my life, and I will always cherish her.
I am Chinelo Onwusilike for ABS News.
Still to come on the news tonight, President Tinubu returns to Nigeria after a visit to France, UK. Pope Francis' funeral set for Saturday this week as global tributes pour in. The news returns in a moment. Join us again.
When you're low on energy and need a break, give yourself a treat. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Smooth. Crafted from cocoa, milk, and sugar. Creamy. Chocolatey. Frothy goodness. Rich taste. So satisfying.
Cadbury 3-in-1 Hot Chocolate. The treat you.
Welcome back. President Bola Tinubu has returned to Nigeria from his work visit to France. Report says that President Tinubu was received by senior officials of his administration when he arrived at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Presidential aide Dada Olusegun wrote in a post on his X handle that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu returned to Abuja after a visit to Paris and London. Some of the officials who were at the airport to welcome Tinubu included the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, George Akume, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, the National Security Advisor, NSA, Nuhu Ribado, and the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, among others. The President left the country for Paris, the French capital, on April 2nd for a short working visit, according to presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga. But his recent travel has divided opinions among Nigerians, especially in the wake of renewed killings in some parts of the country, particularly in Plateau and Benue State. Pope Francis' funeral will take place on Saturday at 10 o'clock local time, the Vatican confirms. The Vatican has also released images of the Pope in an open coffin, dressed in a red robe, with the papal mitre on his head and a rosary in his hands. He will be taken to St. Peter's Basilica on Wednesday morning, where his casket will remain until burial for the public to pay their respect. The pontiff's death has prompted an outpouring of grief from Catholics across the globe, from South Sudan to Argentina, Poland to the Philippines. The BBC report from across 5 continents. Meanwhile, the Vatican confirmed the Pope coffin will be taken to St. Peter's Basilica on Wednesday for the public to pay respect. Over now to sports. Willian Estother will join Chelsea after the FIFA Club World Cup in June. This was disclosed by Estother's agent Andre Corey during a recent interview. Chelsea had signed the Brazilian youngster last year from Palmeiras. Estother remained with Palmeiras after signing for the Premier League West London club. The winger, who will turn 18 in April, signed a contract with the Blues that will see him remain at Stamford Bridge until 2033. Chelsea paid £34 million fixed fee for Estother's signature last year. And that's just about it on the news. But before we go, a quick reminder that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow us at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television, or follow us on X at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. A quick recap of our top stories. Governor Soludo's security aide, Emma Kayi, has clarified operational modus of Anambra security outfit. Commissioner for Power and Water Resources, Chukwuemeka, optimistic of Governor Soludo's victory in November 8 polls. President Tinubu has returned to Nigeria after a visit to France, UK. We also told you that Pope Francis' funeral was set for Saturday this week as global tributes pour in. Remember that security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, security is everyone's business. And for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report unscrupulous elements to the security operatives for better security of lives and property. Remember the emergency numbers 5111 and 080-022-00008. And that's it on the news tonight. Thank you for joining us. My name is Chidima Orangwa. Good night.